Hi everybody and welcome to my very first ever tutorial on YouTube. Pretty exciting stuff. And today I'm going to show you how to make a no-fail crochet disc scrubby. And when I say no fail, I mean no fail. So these are a couple examples of what I make. What I like about them is that they fit nice in the palm of your hand. They're not too big, they're not too small. These can be used on any type of dishware, non-stick, steel pans, dishes, whatever. Actually, I had made some of these. I was in an airport and I was just crocheting as I'm waiting for my flight. And somebody had asked about them. And I said, yeah, I said, well, they're disc scrubbies. And they said, these are actually really nice. You could almost use them as a face for your face, like a little loofah or something like that. So, I mean, you can do whatever you'd like with them, but hey, I think these are they are pretty great and they're actually kind of fun to make. So before we get started, when I first started learning how to do these, I looked at a lot of different videos, and I found that for a lot of them, it seemed like too time consuming to just get ready to start crocheting. A couple of the videos said, go to a fabric store, buy the heavy duty tool. And I tried that, and you had to bring it home and you had yards of it and then you had to cut it. And I thought this is just too much. And the tool for me itself was just a little too heavy too. And then I had other people, say buy these, and which I do. I buy these. These you can get at Walmart, and they're like $2.50. They're pretty cheap, and you can actually get two scrubbies out of this. But some people were saying, use the entire, length. And again, I found that was just like way too much for me anyway to crochet. And then I had other people say, when you get home, unwrap it, and then cut it down the middle as you go. And again, I thought that's a lot of time and a lot of work. So I thought, how can I make this easier for myself? Well, it was simple. What I did is I took my tool and I grabbed a saw out of my husband's toolbox, and I actually just cut it right down the middle. So I'd have either my husband hold it, and I would just cut through it, or I would put half of it over a counter and then and cut it that way. So it was a game changer. I am not kidding you. So anyway, so this is how I do it. It just makes it so much easier. And this, like I say, this is just right out of my husband's toolbox. Um, it's not gonna, even if it's a little bit dirty, big deal. Like I say, this thing is no fail. So here's what I did. What I did is I cut it, cut it, cut it. It got to about there. I cut it to where I couldn't cut it anymore. And then what I do is I take my scissor and then I just cut it in half like that. So now I have two sides. Again, they're going to be rough. They're not going to be even, but it doesn't matter, because what you do now is you'll never notice, because as you can see, you would never even know that. So it works out really good that way. So it's just kind of a little tip, kind of to save you some time. I just want to show you too that with these are great. You can throw them in the dishwasher. You can throw them in the regular wash. They do not ever smell as long as you rinse them out, and they last forever. This one is the one I've had for almost a couple years now that I use. You could see that, yeah, there's a little bit of wear to it, but it holds up great. And again, never smells as long as you rinse it out good. All right. Well, if you're ready, I'm ready. So let's go through a little bit of what supplies you're going to need. So you're going to need a hook, and I use an eye hook. I would not recommend using anything less than an eye, just because with tulle, you need something a little bit bigger to grab onto that tulle. You will also need a little crochet needle or a little craft needle. And then, of course, you're going to need your scissors. So we're going to put that to the side and all this to the side, and let's get started. Okay, for step one, there's a couple different things how you can start this. You can make the magic ring, I think is what it's called, or you can do something simple and just make a slip knot and then chain. And that's what I'm going to show you here today. My magic circle is not great. So I'm usually like all thumbs, and I basically need my feet to get that going. So let's go ahead. So we're just going to do a slip knot here. Insert your crochet hook. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to chain 2. All right. And then you're going to go ahead into that first chain. Grab your tool, come through and just do a little slip stitch. All right, so that's just how we're going to get going. And like I say, this is for me is just easier, and you can do however you'd like. Now you're going to want to go ahead and chain 2. And now in step 2, we're going to do 12 double crochets right in this first chain. Or excuse me, right in this, the first of the chains of the first. So you can go ahead and start that. Now you'll have to just be patient with tulle. Tulle can be your friend, but you need to just be patient with it. But you also don't want it to manhandle you either, so you need to have a little bit of control. What you're going to do, like I say, is you're going to put 12 of these beauties in here. And now this is really the hardest part of the whole thing, just trying to get these 12 in. Once we do that, it's pretty easy. I shouldn't say easy. Depends on your definition of easy, I guess. So we'll just go around and we'll put 12 in, and I will meet you at the end. All right, now that I have my 12 double crochets in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to go into the first double crochet, and I'm going to go ahead and do a slip stitch, and then I will chain 2. All right, now for round 3, we're going to add 2 double crochets into each one of those 12 stitches for a total of 24 stitches. All right, and as you're working around 2, you want to keep a kind of a lighter grip if you can on your crochet hook. Otherwise, you're going to get, which I do, is usually typically a pretty sore wrist. I normally have a death grip on my crochet hooks, and I try to remind myself to just loosen up a little bit, but I don't know. It's just how I roll, I guess. All right, so just keep adding those, and hopefully then this round will be just a little bit easier for you. It just seems like it goes a little bit smoother once you get that first round in. All right, and as I work my way around, I will meet you at the end of round step 3. Okay, I've made it around to step 3, and now I'm on to step 4. So I've got my 24 stitches in. I'm going to want to, whoa, not that. I am going to want to slip stitch into that first stitch. Getting ahead of myself. And then you're going to want to go ahead and again chain 2. Now on to the next one. Now we're going to alternate. We're going to do one double crochet into the next stitch. Then we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and so forth. So we'll just start off here with 1. And that'll be a total then of 36. If my math is correct. Sometimes it's fuzzy. All right, so there's 2. Come on, you. And then we'll go ahead and we'll do 1 in this stitch. And don't get too worried if you're off by a stitch or 2. Like I say, when we're all finished here, it's not going to matter because I'll show you how to fix that when we get to the very end of our project. All right, and then this one's got 2. and then one, and so on and so forth. All right. While I work this round, you go ahead and work yours, and I'll see you at the end. All right, we have made it around now on our last round of our scrubby. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to slip stitch through that first stitch. All right, pull it through, and then we're going to cut this off. And pull it right through. All right, you have now completed one side of your scrubby, so job well done. These little ends, we'll pull this one tight. Now we're going to weave in. We'll weave these ends in. With our little needle. So you'll just want to kind of go back and forth a little bit. Just a few times. Doesn't have to be a lot. There we go. Very good. I'll cut that, and I wouldn't cut it. I can leave it because it's all going to get tucked into the scrubby. I don't think we need all that. Let's get rid of some of that. That's our front. And then we'll just kind of weave it in here a little bit. Put it through another time. Very good. There we go. All right, so this is one of your sides. So now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go ahead and make one more of these. But now when you get to the very end, do not cut off your tool, because you want to, this is how we're going to attach it. So do not cut this part off at the very end. Leave that, but you can weave this one in. All right. So go ahead, make one more, and I will meet you back, and we're going to put it together, and you're going to have a wonderful scrubby. All right, this is it. This is the moment that we've been waiting for. This is when we can put our two sides together and make our great scrubby. So as you can see, I do have my two sides completed with the one that I did leave the tool attached. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take the two back sides, put those together, tuck in your tails, get your crochet hook through that loop of the tool, and now we're just going to single crochet both of the sides together. So you'll want to get this stitch of your one side, one stitch from the other side, pull through, and then grab and pull through. All right, yeah, we're just going to keep doing that all the way around until we complete the circle. Very good. I don't know about you, but I love to make a project that maybe takes, less half hour, depending on what I'm doing, less than an hour, and to have a finished project sitting in the palm of my hand. There's just nothing that feels better for me anyway. I've done bigger projects where it takes, quite a long time, weeks, and they're enjoyable, but not as much as something like this, where I can kind of get that immediate gratification. All right, just keep working your way around and I will see you towards the end and we'll finish this off. Putting my two sides together for my scrubby. And if you notice, I have one less stitch on one of the sides, which I probably just miscounted one. And I mentioned earlier in the video that if you miss a stitch, you can certainly make it up and you're not even gonna, no one's even gonna notice. So what you'll do is you'll do, let me just do a single crochet in here. And then I will do a single crochet here. And then what I'll do is I will actually go back into the one in the back that I just did. So you're basically then with the back one of mine, you have two stitches in one. And then we'll do this one. So now it looks like we're caught up nice. And that's together. But what I like to do just to finish it off is just to do a nice little slip stitch there just to kind of complete the round and make it look good. There, I'm going to cut that off. Pull through. And then I'm going to grab my needle and we're just going to weave this in. This tail in. I'm just going to usually just go into through the back. Just do a couple. There we go. And let's do that. Maybe one more. There we go. Cut that off up close. Do that so it gets tucked in. And voila, there you have it. You have a nice little completed scrubby. And I love to give these away as little gifts, hostess gifts, or for coworkers, friends. And what I'll do too, just to have a nice little gift package, so to speak, I'll make maybe one of my towel toppers, throw a scrubby in, maybe a little soap, and just seems like a nice little gift package for someone. Well, I just want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope you found it helpful. And maybe I'll do another video down the line, maybe for my towel topper. Who knows? But I just want to thank you, everybody, really, truly, for tuning in and watching my video. And I hope you have fun crocheting.